Welcome to Car Talk. This is not talking about cars, this is talking inside of a car. Today's topic is about realizing just how young you really are, and you're not too old to start something new. I've been reading a book lately, and I'm trying to get into the habit of reading again. Reading's never come easy to me in terms of a hobby, but I'm trying to consider it more as professional development kind of thing. Different entrepreneurs, their stories, motivational things of that nature. And the story that stuck out to me was I think it's called Making It Big or something like that, and it was talking about how many people think they're too old for something new, too old to make a change. And I don't think that at all. I do realize how young I am, but I've been realizing I'm even younger than I thought I was. 34 as of right now. And what really framed the perspective for me was, if you ask a random person, what are your productive working years? To a typical, we'll go with me, I can relate easier. And people might say, me, personally, I would say probably 20 to 60. 20 to 60, 40 years. So someone, and if you think about it like that, say you have 40 productive working years in your life, that really helps you realize where you can be. So if you're 30 years old, and think it's too late to start something new, you are 10 of 40 years into your journey, 1/4, 25%. If you're 40 years old, that means you are halfway done. If you're 50 years old, that means you're 3/4 done. And it's easy to think that you're too old to make a change, too old to start a business, too old to get that new career start, and you're probably wrong. Now, if you're 70 and watching this, you're probably not watching this if you're 70, but if you're 70 and watching this, you could be right. You might be too old for that. You probably don't feel like starting 70, you probably want to do less, and I get it. I do. I probably will want to do less when I'm 70 as well. For most people, though, you're probably 20, 30, 40 years old looking at something like this. You don't realize that you have decades left of your productive years, and that you can still go so far with what you have left to work with, which is decades, years, not months and not years, decades. If you're 40, you have 2 decades left of time to maximize out what you want to maximize out. If you're 30, you have 30 years. If you're 20, you have 40 years, which to a 20-year-old, 40 years is inconceivable to really appreciate how much time that really is. So if you've ever thought about making a change in your life, ever thought about starting something new, going back to school, a new career, new profession, something that really speaks to your heart that you really want to do versus something you might have to do, if it's something you really want to do, it's probably not too late. And I'm not going to make some blanket statement that you can do anything you want to do and you're not too old for it, because you might be too old or might be not cut out for what it is you want to do. That's part of how life works. But you're probably not too old for what you want to do. You're probably not too old for a fresh start. You're probably not too old for that career change. You're probably not too old to start that new business that you really are passionate about, that you can then harness that passion into a living. So you're not too old for things. I've realized I'm 34. I have easily 25 years left of my entrepreneurial journey. And thinking about being an entrepreneur is you can do that as long as you want to do it. It's not like a lot of careers where you do have to kind of tap out at 50 and 60 just because that's how the world works. You can be a great entrepreneur at 70 if you want to be. You might not want to be, but you might want to be. So I have easily 25 years left of my entrepreneurial journey. And when you think about it like that, it's not too late to start anything. That's why starting now, I want to start next year, 2018, either acquire or start another company every year for the next 15 years. 15 acquisitions or 15 new companies in the next 15 years. Something to think about, because I was thinking, how can I harness best what I want to do, and me appreciating so much and loving so much the thought of taking something into nothing or something into something much bigger or better. That's what I love to do. And what better way to do that than to find ways to make newer, bigger ventures, and maybe they don't pay off for 5 years, but when I have 25 years left, if everything I do, the first 5, all pay off 5 years later, just imagine where I'll be in 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years. So you're younger than you think you are. If you're 40, you're only halfway done with your journey in life, in terms of your productive working years. And that's a lot to frame your mind around, because you're 40, you might think you're too old for a change, and you're probably not too old for a change. You can do a lot more than you think you can if you're willing to frame the perspective of just how young you really are. Car Talk, Tyler Dalpin.